All right, everyone. On this episode, we have special guest Allan Martinez. He's the frontman of the band As the City Sleeps. So, welcome, Allan, to Rhythm and Roads.
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good, man. Yeah, last night was actually a really good performance. You guys just really know how to just have that certain sound that just like it's both balanced, where it's like a instrumental, but in rock.
Mm.
And you know what I mean? It's like a little jazz, but it's rock. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, nice.
that's
Yeah,
the mood, bro. I'm all like, oh.
yeah. I try to, well, we try to incorporate, just kind of not like a meshing of like genres or anything. It's just like whatever comes out, that's what
Yeah,
comes out. Like whatever feels right, feels right. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of, that's what comes out.
yeah. Well, it must feel right because I've seen you with your guitar when you're in the front line like that, and it's like you're making love to your guitar, bro. I'm like,
Oh,
it must be feeling right there.
yeah, yeah. I guess you could say that. Yeah, man. It's an extension of myself. So,
That's cool, dude.
uh, I have to kind of treat it right so you could treat me right as well. So
Well, I bet, and yeah, you have a great relationship with your guitar, so I could see. Hey, so I want to get to know you, dude. So, like, are you from El Paso or where are you from?
yeah, I am born and raised in El Paso.
Oh, cool.
Also raised Mexico City
Okay.
and Juarez sometimes. Like my dad lived in Juarez for the majority of I guess like my childhood. So weekdays we would be over here at school with my mom, and then weekdays we would go to Juarez with my dad and would spend time with my dad. And then on uh like during like the vacation, we would go to Mexico City 'cause that's where my dad's from.
Oh,
He's from
okay.
Mexico City, and we would go over there like for 3 months, and then we would come back speaking all like chilangos and stuff, which is kind of funny. So
Okay.
like my friends at school they would kind of be like, "What? Why are you talking like that?" Like, I don't know, man. And I shook it off after like a couple of weeks, and then we're good.
That's funny. Couple, yeah, you kind of switch it off one week and then the other week they're like, you make up your mind, dude.
I know, right? Yeah, yeah, but most of my life it's here in El Paso, but then
Okay, cool.
I do have roots in Mexico City
Oh,
because of
nice,
my
man.
dad.
That's
Mhm.
cool. And do you go to Mexico City quite often to visit family or just take trips?
We use like I said we used to every year when it comes to like vacation, but like that was back in high
Back
school
home.
days. I mean, just what's it called, elementary, middle school, high school days or whatever, and then it just become an adult and like work and passport and all that stuff. I really want to go back honestly because I really miss all the stuff that especially the food, man. Food in Mexico City is
Heard the
like
food's good, yeah.
top notch. And of course, I mean, first and foremost, my family, my uncles and my cousins and stuff, they're supporters as well. So like they know I'm a musician. They're just like, it's all crazy. So it's all good.
That's cool. Is your family musicians as well? Did you say they were or?
No, no, no. None of my family, no, actually, no, none of my family are musicians.
No, okay.
My dad just kind of plays just, chords here and there, but I mean, it's not. I don't think he would call himself a musician, or I would call him a musician. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm probably the only musician in my family.
All right. So let's get to that story then. How did you become a musician? Was it someone that you looked up to of an artist, of a guitarist, or certain band that you're like, oh, I want to learn and sing, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, actually, there's two major components when it comes to that. My dad and my brother. My dad, due to the fact that I mean he had the acoustic was kind of always there, and he every
Oh,
once in a while he would just kind of like have it,
yeah.
and excuse me, and because of his influences, I mean like I grew up listening to like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Doors, Grand Funk Railroad, just the
Yeah. Good
classics,
taste.
60s, 70s, yeah,
Yeah, good taste.
and yeah, good tunes, man. Yes, I mean, to this day, I actually just got back last month. I went to go see David Gilmour
Oh, you did?
from Pink Floyd
Oh,
over
nice.
there in Inglewood before the fires,
Oh,
unfortunately.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, this was a couple of months ago. And I mean, so yeah, I mean, great influence when it comes to like my dad giving me that like kind of I guess like baseline, classic rock stuff. And my brother, he joined band when he was in middle school. I was still in elementary school. He
Okay.
joined band, and he kind of started giving me like, oh, that's because like uh, like let's just say for instance, like the Star Spangled Banner, like it's not all just like one thing. It's like there's like octaves, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like what are you saying? And he was like trying to explain to me. I couldn't understand him. And then we started getting into believe it or not, that's kind of how I learned how to sing and stuff. We started getting into Boys to Men
Oh,
when,
wow.
when I was like, yeah, like middle school, high school stuff or whatever. And then my brother would be like, sing this part. And I'm like, what? He's like, so I was like, but I'm gonna sing this part. And I'm like, no, let's just sing. And like for me, it's just like fun,
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just sing. And he goes, no, 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 hold on. And he was trying to like get me to like harmonize. And I was like, I mean, I didn't know what he was doing. So he's like, sing this part, and I'll sing like because he had just gotten through puberty, so he already had the yeah. So I still hadn't gotten through puberty yet, so
Yeah.
I could still hit the high notes and stuff.
I know
So we
it's
were harmonizing, so we would harmonize, and he would get me to harmonize without me even like I'm like that sounds cool, or
yeah.
whatever. And then it just kind of continued, and then there was the chance of getting into guitar class in high school, and I was like, screw it, why not? And yeah, I started learning. The first year was cool because I had a teacher that actually knew how to teach. In the second year, I think the first year teacher went to another school, and the second year they just kind of got somebody, and I was like, it's a free period. So like I just kind of after that I just kind of learned on my own, and then I started just kind of when it comes to like writing, playing covers and stuff. But then when I started like whole writing process, it just felt very organic
Mm,
because I don't know, I just kind of visualize it in my head, and
mm.
I know where like the songs are supposed to go, if that makes sense. So that's
Yeah.
kind of
Powerful.
in a nutshell how I kind of got to the whole music thing.
Oh, wow, dude. And so with your band that you have, which we're going to get into the topic of that,
Mhm.
what genre would you call yours, have the title for that of your band?
I the For As the City Sleeps, the genre I would categorize it as like indie, ambient.
Ambient?
Um,
Okay. Indie
there's
ambient.
like some there's like some shoegaze in there, and like post. I don't know. There's all sorts of just kind of like really kind of want it to be like bedroom poppy type stuff too. Like I like jump genres, man. It's like whatever feels right, honestly, and whatever comes out.
Yeah,
So
and that's
those are the
interesting.
kind of like the.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I
go
just
ahead, man.
no, I was going to say that, sorry. It's just interesting that you chose that genre of style because I mean apparently last night there was different styles with different bands.
Mm.
And like that one is just more, like I said, balanced instrumental, but then rock, jazz, rock. It's just so that's really cool that you picked up a feeling like this is what I love of this style.
Yeah, it goes against the grain, especially here in El Paso for sure, because
Yeah.
it's like you got your cumbias, and you got your punk rock, and
Yeah.
and your kind of heavy stuff or whatever, which is fine. It's I love some of that stuff too, like Fito Olivares, and all that all that cool
Yeah.
Martinez. They have some really kind of dancey stuff or whatever, which is like I said, I love it.
Mhm.
But here in El Paso, it's like primarily that.
Yeah.
And it's not that I want it to be like, oh, I'm gonna be the rebel and I'm gonna play this, but it's just like I keep on saying, man, like I just like sit down, like that's what comes out, and I'm like, that's what it is. Even though
Yeah.
Paso isn't too keen on that stuff. For the majority, there's people that like really like mellow type stuff, and but yeah, I mean, we try to kind of keep it pretty original and pretty what's it called, organic when it comes to what we play.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then one thing about El Paso too is I know they like classic rock. Like anytime they have Journey come or Foreigner, and they're actually having Little River Band and Three Dog Night. They're coming in April.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, so a lot of El Paso likes classic rock still, and so from what I've seen, I mean that's why they bring artists here that are more classic rock too.
Yeah, yeah. I think who was it? Like there was like Guns N' Roses and
Yeah.
Metallica was here a couple of years ago. But yeah, I get it. No.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, they just that excuse me, that comes out and that's what it is. People dig it if they don't it. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah. I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. Very nice balance. I enjoyed my 7K watching your show. I was like, this is
Yeah,
very nice.
there was
Nice
there was
for
a lot of people there. What's that? I'm sorry.
7K, the beer,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, for
NFA
sure.
beer. Yeah, because it's I only get it there, and I mean it's a. Have you ever had it?
No, I heard about it though.
It's good, dude. It's
Yeah,
like you go to
I'll
Love Buzz or you go to Total Wine. They sell it by the can if you just want to try it. It's
yeah.
7K Santa Fe Brewing Company.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
beer is, oh God. So when you guys were playing, I was just like, well, this definitely worked for the occasion really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I might actually swing by today because Love Buzz got a metal show going on or whatever.
Oh,
And
I
if they
think
have
so.
7K, then I'll probably
Yeah,
get some.
they actually have a yellow one, a yellow can, and then
Mhm.
it's like a hoppy, and then they have the one I'm talking about, 7K. So they definitely were loaded up last night because I saw quite a
Yeah,
bit. So they'll have
and
it.
you were definitely loaded up last night too because of the 7K.
For the what?
Oh no, because you were like they were definitely loaded up, and I was like, so are
No,
you?
I know. No, I only had
I was
one
just
because those
messing
are
with you.
pretty strong, dude. Those
Yeah.
7K. Yeah, I was all like, if I'm driving tonight far east, I'm just having one
Oh,
7K because they could hit you. Yeah, they're good, but they sneak up on you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, those are dangerous, man.
I know, man. All right, so let's get into the story of your band As the City Sleeps. So, how did this band come about?
Well, initially it was kind of a solo project, honestly. Yeah, I was at the time I kind of was writing more like aggressive stuff, like more like Seven Dust and like
Oh, were you? Okay.
Deftones. Yeah, those songs are still kind of they're like in the ether somewhere. Maybe I might release them or not. I don't know.
Dude, you
But
should. The new year.
I should yeah yeah I definitely will. But out of all that, one of the songs, Astral Afterglow, that I played last night, we played last night, just kind of like happened. It just like the I just kind of wrote it. It was really weird. I was like, where's this coming from? It's weird. I was like, I'm writing all this like aggressive kind of high energy stuff, metal, and then this little like this pretty song comes out, and I was like, that's kind of weird. All right, so I just all right, well that's cool. And then I started writing like whenever I would kind of sit down, like just like kind of like really mellow, like indie, pretty songs would come out, and I'm like, okay, cool, man, let's do this. So then what had happened is that I went to record one of the songs that's on our first EP, um, and one of my friends, and then one of my a longtime collaborators. He moved to Austin and he just kind of messaged me like out of the blue, which like I was just kind of like serendipitous. It was really weird timing. It was just kind of like this is weird. So I think I should do it anyway. He's like, hey man, do you have any like music I can produce or like kind of mess with? And I was like, actually, yeah, I just wrote this song, I recorded it, this and that, and he's like, cool, yeah, well let me mess with it. I was like, all right. So then I kind of trusted him, and then what he sent back was like totally not like what I wanted. I was like, whoa, dude, they're like, this is not what I was going for. I was like, this is like way too much. And he had all this like, I don't know, man. It was just like way too much. And I was like, no, no, it's like bare bones. So I was like, here, like, check out this song and then check out this song. And this is kind of the vibe I'm going for. He's like, oh, I got you. Cool. So and he sent it back, and there was like a cello that I wanted. It was like programmed cello. Like the first EP was like everything was a lot of the stuff is programmed, but and
Okay.
you wouldn't know the difference. But yeah, I was just like, yes, there you go, there you go. And then I just kept on, and around that time in heavy rotation was this album called Friendly Fire by
Mhm.
Sean Lennon, and that was a really big inspiration when it comes to As the City Sleeps, because it's really like you could obviously it's John Lennon's son, so it has to have some sort of remnants of like the Beatles and stuff, and of course that album is very early Beatles and like like really weird like chords, and I'm like I can't even imagine to like coming up with, but somehow I still do. But yeah, Friendly Fire was a really heavy rotation when it comes to like Um, the initial As the City Sleeps.
Sure. Yeah.
And then, so I went to San Antonio, where my friend was living, and then we recorded the EP, which was like, I think it was like 5 songs.
Oh
And
wow.
came
Okay.
back, released it, and then I was like, I think I need a band because like this is like like because I mean it was just myself, honestly. It was like
Oh
myself
wow.
playing guitar and
Yeah.
singing, but then we added all these like textures and drums and stuff or what. I was like, yeah. So I recruited like what my friends, like they jumped on and for the most part, when it see like for the second album, I wrote and recorded most of everything. So it was still kind of within like one man band type thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And of course I had like drummers and like bass players and like I played some of the keys and I had some other people come in and like session musician. I paid them to for keys and stuff. I had saxophone for Astral Afterglow, but the majority of it I still kind of you know uh, wrote all the parts, most of the parts,
Mhm.
and recorded most of the parts. Like I said, every once in a while, bass would be recorded here and there, whatever. And then that was the second album, which was like a full LP, which I probably won't do because it's very time consuming and it's very expensive as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And then for this upcoming album, I kind of when it comes to the people that I surrounded myself with, like the musicians,
Mhm.
I feel comfortable being like, okay, I could just write the bare bones. I could write, like the structure of the song,
Mhm.
and then they can write their parts, and I'm totally fine with it. Little tweaks here and there. Hey, what if we drop here, whatever, just like producer type stuff.
Yeah.
But they're writing their own. Everybody's writing their own parts. Like I'm just doing the song and the vocal melody, and like you write your bass part, you write your lead part, you write your drum part, you drive, keys. I might be like, oh, give him some ideas, but he'll write the key part. So it's kind of like it's a more collaborative effort when it comes to like the most recent outfit of this project. So yeah, it's just kind of it's evolved pretty well.
Oh, that's cool. So you're saying that your bandmates, they have their own input as well, where they help write the song for their part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now like I'm saying, up until now I felt comfortable doing that. You know what I mean?
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
they all contribute. They all write their own parts.
Nice, man. And how did you come up with the name As the City Sleeps?
Um, it's kind of an homage or homage. I don't know how you say it, but it's kind of a throw to like just artists in general, whatever medium is like painting, writing, music, what have you, whatever artist.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that I was it was at night I couldn't sleep, and I stumbled upon an article that basically said that when it comes to like an artistic mind, people that are more artistically inclined, their brain waves are mostly active during the night. And
True.
I'm like, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that does make
So
sense.
then, so then I was like, well, as the city sleeps, like we're awake and we're creating and we're
Yeah.
painting and we're writing and we're,
Yeah.
whatever poetry.
Yeah.
And so like as as everybody's just kind of like, on their downtime, like we're the ones that are just like up and origami, I don't know, clay or whatever it is. So it's kind of a throw to like all artists, really.
That's actually
So
cool. Yeah. I like that. The definition of that.
yeah, and it, and it kind of and it sounds like dark, and I'd be like, oh, cool, and it kind of reflects on the type of music as well. That's not like it's not boring music, but it's like really
Yeah.
calm. And, like I've had a lot of people say like, actually, your music's really calm and soothing. It's like
Yeah.
it puts me to sleep, like not in a bad way, but like
Right.
it's
Dude,
good.
yeah.
So yeah, it kind of suits it. So
And that's really interesting that that you mentioned that because there's a band that I like. I don't know if you've heard of them, May, M-A-E.
no.
No, if you want to look them up sometime today, May, M-A-E, and they're
Hmm.
a little bit like your style, where they're instrumental rock and all that, but it's really nice, and that's why I think I was more drawn to your style as well because I like May. But one thing about May is it's kind of like that, where you mentioned it, where as the city sleeps, we the artists and the art, the people that are very artistic creating are up at night and their music's similar to that where you feel that,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah, look them up, man. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
always
they're
open
good.
for suggestion, and
MAE.
maybe it's more inspiration for more music. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I saw them I think last year in October. No, no, 2 years
Oh,
ago.
nice.
Yeah, in LA, and yeah, they're good. They've been around since
Mm,
like maybe early 2000s. So,
yeah,
but
nice.
moving on. So, what's the next project for you guys? Are you guys planning? I think you said you were bringing out a new album, or you're working on a new album.
Yeah, everything's already recorded.
Oh, okay.
Right now we're just mixing and mastering a demo from Safe House, or he's also an audio engineer for Love Buzz. He's the one that's mixing and mastering the songs.
Okay.
It's like it's a delicate process, man. Because like yeah, you lay it down, like it's cool, it's on paper now, but then like you kind of have to like bring the guitar up and like pan on. It's
Yeah,
he does a really good job. So that's basically what we're doing right now. Is just kind of we already came up with a new batch of songs collaboratively, collectively,
that's cool.
and we recorded them. It's there. I'm thinking about doing a cover included in the album. And I should be recording it soon.
Okay.
But that's basically it, man. Everything's already recorded. We're just kind of in the mastering, mixing and mastering portion of the whole album, and it should be released sometime like early spring or
Oh,
so. I kind of want to do a whole, like maybe like a listening party, maybe
yeah.
like album release party. Like we'll have merch, and then we'll have like you know dancers and fire and pyrotechnics and stuff, and
Whoa,
we'll see what
bro.
happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that's
All
basically what we're doing. And then like every once in a while we practice, and like somebody throws in an idea, and then we just kind of shape it and stuff, see where it goes.
Nice, man. Well, I look forward to the launch for that album. What's the name of the album? Do you have a title yet?
It's called If the Sea.
If the Sea?
If the Sea. It's actually it's a whole. How do I explain this? I don't know if you're familiar with Fiona Apple's "When the Pond" album.
No.
No. Okay, so it was like I guess like mid '90s or whatever. There's a songwriter named Fiona Apple, and like one of their albums, the name is "When the Pond," and it's like dot dot dot, and like
Oh,
the full name of the album was like a whole like poem. It was like when the pond does this and blah 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 blah, and it keeps on going. And at some point, it was like the Guinness Book of World Records like longest album title or whatever. And I
what?
was like, I always kind of thought it was cool, and I was like, huh. So I came up with this big poem, um, and it's like if the sea should beckon me, I will go within with open arms. And I just kind of created this big long poem,
Yeah.
and but that's the full album title of what it's gonna be. But like I just kind of shortened it to like if the sea.
If the Sea?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean that's cool. So do you like are you planning on I take it this is gonna be launched digitally, right? It's not gonna be like vinyl or CD or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the CD format is kind of outdated. I,
Is
I
it
wish it wasn't.
I wish it wasn't either,
Um,
because sometimes I do like CDs. I mean like
yeah, because I mean, you own it. It's
yeah.
yours.
It's like
But I
cassette
mean,
tape and all that and
yeah, and the vinyl's been like making a comeback, and like, it's kind of like a big thing now. There's a big resurgence when it comes to vinyl.
yeah.
But it's very expensive to make.
I
I mean,
heard.
like once you have it, you're like, oh, cool, vinyl, but like you don't like it's like thousands and thousands of dollars like go in it just to produce like a small batch of like 50 or something. It's like
Oh,
thousands of dollars. So
okay.
it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but I mean, yeah, it's mainly gonna be in digital form.
Okay.
If I win the lottery somehow or whatever, then I'm able to do that. Then I'll be able to put
Let's
some
hope for
vinyls
that.
on there, man. Yeah.
Well, the reason you go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead, man. That was it.
The reason why I asked if it was going to be a CD or a vinyl, because your poem that you mentioned that you wrote saying if the C, then the
Mhm.
rest, if it was going to be in the album cover, inside it, or in the vinyl. You know what I mean? And I think that'd be cool, even
Actually,
digitally, where you could actually like if the C, but then there's a way that you can put your poem on there to describe
mm,
the album. That way you could just read
right.
it and then it'd be like, oh, that's cool. because that's the thing about me, which you know of, when you buy CDs, like one of my favorite bands is U2, right? And
Hmm.
so when I would open up the pamphlets, I would read certain things in it, and I love that. And same for other bands.
Mm.
You open it up, you're like, oh, this is cool. Like,
Yeah,
I miss-
that's like a lost that's a lost thing, man. Because I remember, when you buy an album, you would like, get it and like read everything, like the thanks, which is like you think of it, you're like, who cares, Like,
oh
but
yeah,
me, it's like, oh, you thank you thank the former bandmates or
oh yeah,
whatever, and
yeah,
it was recorded here at this
yeah.
time. Oh snap! Like I think I was like, so yeah, that's totally lost now with like this the digital streaming and everything. But yeah, maybe like I said, maybe there'll be a way to do vinyl or something, or maybe like burn some CDs and because I know like underground type stuff like is really kind of what's it called an oddity for
Yeah.
like the younger generation. They're like, oh, CD, look, and then they kind of make it fun of it, but at the same time you're like you're proud of it. It's kind of
Oh
weird.
yeah, dude. I mean, I really do hope that you do release your poem. I think that'd be really cool. I'm just suggesting it that you would
Yeah,
add
no,
it
well,
towards
actually,
your.
I am gonna do it,
Oh,
but
you
it's
are?
just gonna
Okay.
be like in a different, you'll see. I kind of wanna don't wanna ruin the surprise, but
Oh, that's
it'll
fine.
be
Yeah.
available.
Oh, well, oh,
Yeah,
can't wait.
it'll be within the album itself. So
That's
yeah,
cool. Nice. But I actually do like the title. I think it's cool. If the sea, and then you're gonna put dot dot dot, right? Or how do you want to
right. Hmm.
that?
Yeah.
That way it can let us know, like, wow, there's something more to come or what's next.
Hmm.
So that's a cool title. I like that. Before we close on the podcast, I do want to get into some of the personal stuff that you like, which I like too.
Sure.
I've seen the band Tool about 4 times as well, dude. I've seen Tool. I like Tool. So I saw that
Yeah.
I looked up at you see like, oh, I wonder what kind of music, and I saw that you were at a show so in Austin, right?
Mm. Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen Tool. I think yeah, like 4 times, and yeah, they're just something else, man. Like you're when you're in there, you're like in a spaceship or something, and then when you leave, you're like, what the hell
That's
was
fake.
that? Honestly,
Yeah,
man.
it's different, dude. It's a different show, and I like that they do just jam out sometimes for like good 5 minutes without any vocals. You're like, cool, let's rock out.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, our drummer Paul's that's kind of one of our links. He's a huge Tool fan,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
like, dude. And the thing is that it's like he how do I say this? We're both huge Tool fans,
yeah,
but we know it's not gonna like ever kind of incorporate like as a city because that's they're just two islands that are so far apart. Like we can definitely like love the same thing and just like tip the hat to each other or whatever. Or, like
but
Tool's
it's never
awesome,
gonna influence the
but
band.
it's like this is yeah. What this is what this is. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah, that's fine.
I'm sure he puts his little sometimes there's like some fills that in some of the songs I'm sure like but it sounds great. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like it has to sound like Tool. Like maybe it could just be a drum beat or maybe
Yeah,
like a chord, and
yeah,
that's cool. And that's fine. So but yeah, I'm a huge Tool fan.
that's cool. And another thing that you like, aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Aliens and ghosts.
and ghosts. Yeah. So I actually went to my family lives in Roswell, my uncle. So usually every time I go to the UFO museum, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you read a lot, but I mean it's just, but yeah, when I was in my early teens, dude, I was all fascinated by UFOs, and
Hmm.
I was all like, I want to see one and all that. But one of the I don't know if you ever heard of that movie, Fire in the Sky. Have
Yeah, actually, I have.
you seen it?
Actually, I wish I could. So I just real quick. I know we gotta take off in a little bit, but I was like so entranced with that movie that I actually met the real Travis
Oh,
Walton,
you did? Met him?
Roswell.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Check it out. Oh, no, it's not there.
That's
But
all right.
yeah, I have a poster signed by him and stuff or whatever. I met him.
Oh,
He's a really cool dude.
that's cool. So you actually had like the poster of the movie, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's funny that you should mention that. Yeah, yeah. I love Fire in the Sky too.
Yeah, I mentioned it because I think that's like one of the most popular alien abduction films of
Hmm.
story. But yeah, I actually liked that film. I thought it was pretty good and it's interesting, you know. And I actually drove one time, probably 6, 7 years ago through Snowflake. Actually, my family and I were driving to Vegas, and then when
Mm,
we entered Snowflake, I was like, "Oh shoot, this is that town from that movie." So yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean,
Snowflake, Arizona.
and the thing about Ghost too is like, I'm sometimes I used to watch Ghost Adventures with Zach, um, that's pretty cool. So,
Yeah, I actually used to have a paranormal team here in El Paso.
oh, you did? No way.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, sure, dude. Uh,
yeah. We investigated all sorts of places that are,
oh,
kind of
wow.
high profile and stuff. And yeah, man, I was really deep into it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just
Better now.
no, I don't do it. I don't do it anymore. Because I mean, you can only like investigate a place like so many times. You're just
Oh,
kind of,
that's true. Yeah, it's not gonna like
and
change.
then yeah. And every once in a while, like I travel by myself a lot, which I love. And then whenever I get a chance, we had this tour a few years ago. It was like a West Coast tour, and we actually, Isleen and I, my lead guitarist, we stayed at the Queen Mary, which is parked in Long Beach.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
most haunted ship in the
What?
world or whatever. And
Really?
the thing is, like, I wanted to investigate it like so bad, and I had all my equipment and my gadgets and
Yeah.
whatever. But we had driven from here over there, and then like we didn't sleep at all. So we drove and we just kind of like rested a little bit, and then we like took off to we had a show that night.
Yeah.
We played the show, and then I had to like drive everybody back and like to their hotels, and then me and Azim went to the Queen Mary. By the time we got there, I was like so exhausted. I was like, I just knocked out, and if there was a ghost, like totally like, hey, hello, and I was like just dead to the world, man. So I didn't even get to investigate it. But yeah, I'm totally into
Oh my
investigating the
God.
paranormal as well.
So you're saying that once you got to the hotel, you said it was the most haunted ship or what?
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has its history. It did a lot of World War II. It wasn't a war ship, it was a luxury liner, but it helped a few of the World War II ships that were and like in distress or whatever. They went and like helped them out and stuff or whatever. But it has its own for history. It's like very very rich. So
Yeah.
it's a cool little thing. I want to go back one of these days to actually investigate it instead of like just knocking out and being
Dang,
so
dude.
tired. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love paranormal overall anyway.
Yeah. Who knows? This probably really beautiful female ghost showed up in your room and you just passed out. She's like, "Here I am." You're just like, "Nah, not tonight."
Could have had ghost babies by now, man.
A
It's
ghost
okay.
baby. No, that's cool, dude. They used to do that. You used to have your own paranormal. So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. I know they used the one in downtown, that hotel that burnt.
Mm.
That was one of the haunted hotels.
Actually, yeah, I investigated that place. I
Oh,
think,
you did?
yeah, I actually did. I got to, didn't really get much, but the basement was kind of weird. But
Yeah,
it's because the thing is that if it was vacant, it would be cool. But there was like people there, and you're like, was that a ghost or was that like an actual person? So
yeah.
it's kind of
No, actually,
it's kind of
Zach's, well, Ghost Adventures, you know that
mm,
they did a episode there, right? At that hotel.
hmm.
So they
Hmm.
went to the basement, yeah, and they said that it was a lot of paranormal down there, that there was um, certain ceremonies they did down there and all that, and
Oh
so
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so there's a lot of activity down in the basement. But
Yeah, yeah. That place is weird. Yeah, like stuff would move down there, and like there's like be knocks and stuff, and I'm like. I don't know. I couldn't decipher it, and I couldn't really like explain it away. So I'm like, is it ghost? I don't know. Is it rats? I don't know. But yeah, it was just kind of. It definitely had a weird vibe down in the basement.
okay. Well, thanks, Alan, for coming on Rhythm and Roads and sharing your story and some information on the band, bringing out some new album, and hopefully you said late spring, right?
Yeah. Well,
Or
I'll
mid
just say spring, just to kind
spring.
of put a whole blanket on it.
Yeah, dude. And next Saturday, I'm going to Lowbrow to see the Battle of the Bands, the final.
Mm,
So if you want to go, that'd be cool. I'll be there around 7, but I know Sweet Ventura is playing Soul Parade. They're friends, of course, close friends of mine. So,
mm.
but I'll be there. I always like to go and support
Yeah,
friends.
I'll probably be there to support a couple of my friends as well. Like my old drummer, he has a he has his band, excuse me, advanced. So I'm gonna go and support him as well. So yeah, I'll be there. It's always cool to hang with all the musician peeps in El Paso.
Cool, man. And I'll buy you a beer. I'll get you a 7K if they have any.
Perfect. I'm convinced totally.
Well, before we actually close off, for them to find your music, it's all streaming, Apple, Spotify.
Yeah, it's on Spotify, Amazon, Apple,
Okay.
any type of streaming service. What's it called? Deezer, just anything you can think of, honestly, like Amazon Music,
Okay. And social
um,
media.
and the social media as well. When it comes to like Instagram on and Facebook, we're as the city sleeps music, all one word.
Yeah.
Um, Not on TikTok
Yeah, I know.
anymore.
I just read about it tomorrow. Yeah.
I just like throwing that joke in there because it's relevant. But yeah, we never were on TikTok, but either way. But yeah, most of the time you can find us on Instagram, just like posting stuff. Like I think Facebook's kind of on its way out, honestly. Um, but or just kind of like for a fossil like us or whatever
Yeah.
for Facebook.
Right.
It's not really too active, but we're on there, and then we post up like little snippets of what's coming up, or like we have a show, or if like I really enjoy like some carrot cake, I don't know whatever comes up, I'll post it on there, and if it's relevant, and I'll
When is
put it
your
on
next
there.
show?
It's gonna be February 15th at Mona Bar.
Mona? Oh, nice. I'll
Yeah.
try my best to make that
Uh,
one too. Support
Yeah,
you.
and it's gonna be like kind of a because initially I was asking like is February 14th booked? And they're like, yeah, and I was kind of asking everywhere. And it's all booked, it's makes sense. But then I was like, well, the 15th is available in Mona, and I was like, I could make it like an on Valentine's Day or something. I don't know, like make it some sort of like it'll
Well, if
askew
it's
type.
the weekend, it's Valentine's weekend.
That's true. Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's all get
celebrate
drunk
it.
and make out whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be on the 15th at Mona, and I'm not. We have Chile with us, and then I'm still booking the other bands, but it should be a good time, man.
Nice, man. Sounds good, dude. Well, appreciate you coming on the podcast and thank you again, Alan Martinez, frontman as the city sleeps. So we look forward to hearing your new music in spring and see more shows. So thanks again, Alan.
All right, man. Thank you. We'll see
All
you.
right, no problem.